All right, I'm going to show you guys a wild technique to turn ChatGPT into a great graphic designer like Photoshop and Canva, and they can make anything for you. And you might be looking at the background right now and thinking, what's all this about? Did ChatGPT do that? And the answer is yes. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it using ChatGPT only to create this background image. And you could do this for anything, social media, your YouTube thumbnail in this example, which this is. And you can do a lot of cool techniques now with ChatGPT 4.0 that you could never do before. And that's the power of trying new prompting techniques, because this didn't even work before. I tried it a few months ago and it couldn't do it. And the cool thing is it actually works. So it put my logo here, the text, and even that cutout image of me in the background, which was also partly AI generated, but that's on a different software. Anyway, let's jump into the tutorial and show you exactly how we did this. Okay, let's first go over the assets that I have that you're going to need for this project. Okay, so let's look at this is an Addison cutout. I'm just going to upload it. Okay, so this is me. So you need some sort of a PNG background, a cutout of yourself or whatever you want, if that's what you want to do. If you want to use yourself in the image, which I did in this case. So this is me. So I'm cut out already. There's a lot of photo editing software that's free online that can do this if you don't have it. I found that the Chat GPT didn't work very well for cutting it out, so I just used the cutout image that I already had, and it's a square image, 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels. The next thing, we have an AI Growth Guys logo, and that's our logo of our website and our brand. So AI Growth Guys, also a PNG image, so it's transparent, so you can put it over anything, the background. And then that's all I needed. And then the rest of it is just through prompting. So I already had my logo and cutout image, just like you would use on Photoshop or Canva or whatever. You would already have these assets created, and then you would make a template and create your final image. So I'm going to show you how I did this in ChatGPT. So the first thing I did was use a background in black with 1920 by 1080 pixels. So you have to specify the size of the image, the final thing you're looking for, which ChatGPT can do. And I said, put it on a black background. And then I said, do a 120 pixel bold open sans font in the top left in white, and say, I turn ChatGPT into Photoshop. And then I actually got the image of it, and it looked okay. I can find out what the version was. We have as you can see, I made a bunch of different versions. They all didn't work perfectly, but it eventually, I think this is it right here. Let me go to this one. So we're going to open this, have a look. Right, so I turned ChatGPT into Photoshop. So this is already what it is. So I'm on the bottom right, and the text is on the top left. And then I had to make some adjustments for the final picture. Let's go actually back. I think it wasn't this one. It messed up something weird. I think it totally distorted it at first. So I told it to use the full square at the start. So as you can see, it messed up my photo, which is fine because you can just tell it afterwards. Don't distort it and use the full size image of my cutout. And that's what I did. And then I went to, what did we do next? So I have that. And so I said, okay, now don't mess it up and don't distort my image. And now I even said, okay, I didn't even know I could do this. I said, now put a logo on the bottom left. And I'll show you what that looks like. Let's see. The first one I did was over here, which looks okay, but it was too big again. As you can see, the logo is way too big at the moment, which is fine, but you're not going to want to use this obviously, because it looks way too big and not in the right spot. So I just prompted it. I said, "Can you make the logo 25% of the size and put it still in the bottom left?" And it did that. And then the result was pretty good. It looked basically what I wanted, and we'll just go to it here. So here is the final result, basically, which is getting closer. So I turned ChatGPT into Photoshop, and now I have my logo on the bottom left. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Except for the final touch, we decided to put the Photoshop in red. And that's what we did again. So the last technique was I said, "Can you put Photoshop in red and keep it into white? Keep everything else white." So it kind of did this, but the funny thing is it actually messed up the first time, and I'll just show you what it looked like. So as you can see, it somehow it didn't work 100%. Obviously, the Photoshop now is in the wrong spot, even though it was just a color change. It decided to move it. So then I said, just basically keep the Photoshop where it was before and don't move it, and then give me the final um, image. And that's really all I wanted to do. I wanted to get what you saw in the background, which is very simple and pretty awesome, I would say, for a simple way of doing this. And you can imagine using, if you had more assets, you could use this for whatever size you wanted to do. And then the final version, I just put this for the YouTube video. I put this in the top right, the logo, because, um, well, basically, I didn't want to be covering the Photoshop, or I didn't want to be covering the the logo in the bottom left with my head because this was going to be a screenshot video. But that was the only change that I made. But the funny thing is, I kept doing this, and eventually it broke. And that's actually why I'm doing this tutorial, to show you that I did do it, but sometimes it still messes up. I think what happens is ChatGPT. This is kind of the transition, is my theory, between ChatGPT 4.0 and ChatGPT 5. So it has the capabilities to do it, but as soon as I started doing something cool that they didn't tell me about, then they just block me and say, "Sorry, you can't. I'm having problems doing this, and now it doesn't work." I mean, I'm sure it will do it again. They say I have to do the Python commands on my local computer, which is kind of crazy. It just did it. I kept asking it, and then it didn't work anymore. But you get the idea. It's a super cool photo editor if you have a few assets, and even if it's not working today for you, clearly it'll be able to very soon. So if you liked this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to be doing a bunch of cool stuff, online marketing, everything. So join our, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and just let me know in the comments what else you want to do, and subscribe to any other channels. Check our description. Sign up for our email list as well, because we give you tons of tips and tricks and show you how to do tons of cool stuff. So if you don't sign up, you're kind of missing all the cool stuff we're doing. So do that. We give away a lot of stuff. Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you soon.